traffic patterns and such will have impact on Embarcadero and Churchill and Bryant. So you know what, it's a no-win situation. Just put it on the ballot, the city decide, and both parties will have a chance to air their positions, and then the city can make the choice and be done with it.
Okay. That's an interesting idea. So, so this hasn't even come before council yet. Castilleja item, right? Yeah. So there's been a lot of stuff around it, right?
That's hilarious. Okay.
But it's never come before council.
But they have presented to all kinds of other. They've not presented to city council.
No.
They presented to transportation.
Yeah, the transportation commission.
Okay, but they've not gone to the city council. That's interesting.
No.
So okay, makes no sense to me why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hear a lot about it, but there's nothing formal. At least that's come to council yet.
Okay.
And so, but I think probably the reason why is because they're trying to understand how this fits in politically.
The city council is, or the...
No, we have no control over it, right? We can't force them to apply.
Sure, no, that's right. They've got to come to you.
They have to come to us, and they haven't done that.
Neither party has. I understand why...
The other party can't, right? I mean...
Castilleja can't.
No, Castilleja can, right? Because they're the applicant, right?
Okay.
So they have to... but they haven't... Yeah, I mean, despite all the ruckus, there's been nothing on council.
Can the neighbors come to the city council with
there's
this?
There's nothing in front of us yet.
Now, okay.
That doesn't stop people from coming in to talk to us about it, right? So that happens all the time. But no, this has yet to come to council. So yeah, you would think that they've come to council 20 times, given how much you see on lawn signs and online, but nothing.
That part of me is surprised, and then part of me is not. It's there was so much emotion in it. I would have thought that somebody in there would have said, "Let's get this in front of the city council, and then let's resolve this in a the way that democracies are set up to resolve it, right?"
Yeah, you would think, but no. But it's really up to Castilleja to do that, and they haven't done that.
Okay.
So despite what you read in the papers and what you see online and all the signs, there's a lot of sound and fury, so to speak.
Yeah, I think the word is fire and fury, if I remember correctly, but that's okay.
Yeah. So, but there's not much real action happening.
Okay. Well, is there anything that I can do other than just?
Well, your idea about opposing intriguing, because I personally don't have that strong feeling one way or another. Right?
Sure.
And I haven't thought too heavily about it, given that it's not before council.
Yeah,
yet.
right. Worry about something. Yeah.
So, but I mean, if it comes to the voters, right, and they decide, then it's pretty conclusive, right? Right. And then it's pretty clear as to what should happen, right, or not happen.
Right. It's let. I just think that my personal concerns are all too harsh a term, but I see a lot of people getting worked up, and we are certainly in a time, country-wise, of divisiveness.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want my neighborhood to be like that.
Yeah,
Palo Alto always has our bits of conflicts.
Yeah.
We struggle between growth and preservation, but we're supposed to work it out in a congenial manner.
Yeah, I've heard stories about people who feel so passionate about this topic, like neighbors who used to be friends, so passionate about this topic that they don't talk to each other anymore. Right?
Oh,
it's terrible.
And the battle of signs has gotten. Again, I'm not going to comment. I just think the battle of signs and. I
haven't heard about people stealing signs yet.
Oh, you gotta hang on neighborhood.com, whatever that neighborhood app is. People,
next door neighbors.
Next door neighbors, that's
right.
the one. It's like, holy cow! It's like
there are a lot of people complaining.
Yeah, there were, and and on both sides are having signs stolen. And
you can also look on Palo Alto online, the comments on this.
Well, the one thing is, I posted and said, well, you can't post a sign between the sidewalk and the street because that's city property and nothing's supposed to be posted there. So if you post it there and it's gone. No one took it. Yeah. It may have been the yard of the pickup people, the garbage people who took it, right? Yeah. But anyway, it's just we have so many other issues. Great city, wrestling with some very tough issues. You guys have at the council a very tough job trying to figure out how do you balance growth with preservation of quality of life. Let's get this one off. Resolve it like democracies are supposed to.
Well, have you suggested this idea on any of those forums?
I have not. No, those forums are they're very I fear for my life.
Oh, I see.
But I could do that. I mean, I could certainly send a note.
Yeah, I think that's an intriguing idea because you can sit here and debate, and I think right now like the council is getting lobbied ironically, even though there's not anything
Sure,
for us.
right.
And but there's nothing like having a direct vote to kind of find out what we really should do.
Right.
Because
Well,
in the end, if let's say council voted one way, and people are unhappy in the referendum, it may so in the end it may, neither side may be happy about it.
Well, yeah, right. No matter how it gets voted on, people are going to be upset one or the other. But at least you have a process.
Yeah.
Right, that's how it works. And the
council is a process too. It's just that, I mean, one step beyond the process would be, a referendum, right?
Well, I will take this suggestion to the PNQL where I've got, and I'll make this suggestion.
And you, just out of curiosity, do you know what if this did come to a vote? Do you know how the vote might come down?
I don't know. I think it'd be real interesting. I think one of the beauty of doing this as a referendum is that you're going to have to get facts out. Right now, it's really hard to discern the facts from the alternative facts and the opinions being taken as fact. So I really don't know. If you gauge by the signs, you would say it's pretty evenly mixed. I do know there are people in South Palo Alto who are interested in this because I've got some friends in South Palo Alto. They've expressed interest, concerns, want a chance to have a voice on it. Yeah. So I don't know how it would vote out. I think it'd be very close.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. A real nail biter. So yeah, I think your suggestion is very intriguing.
All right. Well, I will make the suggestion to the PNQL that I'll mention that you and I have talked. Will this be available?
You can link to it.
Yeah, I'll send them the link to it, and they can see the conversation we had. Hello, PNQL. And hopefully we can use this as a way to try to draw this thing to closure.
Of course, because it's not good to be mad at your neighbor, right?
No, it's even worse when there's no plan for how you're going to resolve it. You're just going to be the Hatfields McCoys forever. I mean, come on, let's just get a result here.
No, I hear you. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I've been thinking about that also for like the Great Separation. So, like the Great Separation, you have a couple of different choices. You could not do anything for the trains, right? You just leave everything the way it is.
Oh yes, that's a hot issue too.
Or you could like move the train, or you can move the roads, right?
Right.
Moving the roads, the big problem with that is there's a bunch of houses that get wiped out. So people are not so happy.
We're very close to one of those houses.
Okay, yeah. So, and then, the problem with moving the train is kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, right.
So, there's like, and then of course if you do nothing, then there's a big traffic problem.
Yeah.
So
especially if the number of trains increases, right?
Yeah,
they start doing that.
That's right. What do you think we should do?
Oh my gosh, you're kidding me? Ask me, put them in. Okay. I wish the answer was as simple as do this. I think it's one of those things. I mean, we're supposed to be very creative here, right? We're the capital of innovation.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Right. And are there other ways that are going to resolve this? And are there other ways where technology is coming along that might help resolve this? Autonomous vehicles, a very hot topic.
Sure.
And we're going to be one of the first areas that are going to be able to take advantage of that. I don't know. How does that factor in this equation? Do heavy trains get replaced by something different that's built on autonomous vehicles that doesn't have the need for heavy grade? It doesn't have it might have other options. So, I mean, I'd be lying to say I know the answer to it, and I'd only be giving you very poorly informed opinions. But I do think that we need, as an organization, as a community, to think about what it is we're trying to achieve, balancing growth and the quality of life, but also look forward as far as what's going to happen. How do we make things better with these new technologies? So I'm not going to help you in this one. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
And I have a vested interest. As you know, in Emerson, we live close to the tracks.
How far are you from the tracks?
We're block.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because Alma's here, then Emerson's the next block over, and so some of the plans have the houses that are being taken out. Right, it doesn't take ours though; it takes us right behind ours. So I'll tell you right now, we're very much interested in what goes on and having a solution that allows benefits. Right? Can you drill a tunnel? Can you do that? Will these things fly? Probably not going to fly, but there's other options.
You can certainly drill a tunnel, right?
You can certainly drill a tunnel, and if
this is very expensive.
It is, but it's getting cheaper, right?
It's getting cheaper.
Because the boring company.
Yeah, we actually contacted them. Yeah, yeah. So they could get it like I forgot exactly how many times cheaper. I think it was like 6 times cheaper, something like that. But the reason why it's cheaper is because, well, the first 2x because they get the machine to dig all the time. Because right now the machines dig and then excavate. They don't dig all the time. So that's one thing that they did. And then the other really big thing is like small diameter tunnels.
Yeah.
So rather than train size, it's like car size. So that's the other thing that they did. But if you're trying to underground the train, it's still a train-sized tunnel, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be, yeah, so, but if you did go underground, think about all of a sudden that path that practice right now becomes a bike trail. I mean, it's one of these, it's got all kinds of potential.
It's transformational, right?
That's exactly what it is, it's transformational, and it's really not a decision about the train.
Yeah.
It's a decision about the economics and quality of life throughout all of Palo Alto, because the decision you make, like I said, if you're able to go underground, it is transformational what you can do.
It would freeze up the land. I mean, this is expensive land. It frees up the land for a lot of other things.
Yeah, and again, I pop up, bikes. We want to be more and more bike friendly, and it's really tough in a city like Palo Alto to be bike friendly because we have growing we have a lot of transportation. There's more and more of it, and so if you had a bike lane, a walk lane, it's kind of like what. Yeah. You probably know what. New York took one of their old elevated and turned it into that.
Yeah, Highland, right?
Yeah, it's been a major boom for all the housing around there. The property value of the houses have all gone up. That makes everybody happy.
Well, there's a whole idea of value capture where if you underground the train, you could actually monetize the land above, right? And then that could help pay for the undergrounding.
Very good. I like how you're thinking.
Yeah, but the big challenge though is would people be willing if you did that right? And that's how they fund development. Let's say the Trans Bay Terminal, right?
Yeah.
SF, the undergrounding, is they do development to pay for it, right? The question would be, would the community be willing to put up with this extra development to help fund the undergrounding of the train?
This is why your job is so tough, right? Because you got to help the community understand short-term costs for long-term benefits. And there'd be some people, of course, who wouldn't. I think the people who are older, who the long-term benefits don't apply to them, but we're a fairly young community, we're very vibrant. So I think what you find, I bet you put it to a vote, the community would vote for it because the community would see the longer-term benefits and ramifications. And you're right about monetizing the land above it. That's cool.
Well, we have, like in downtown, it's like $10 to $12 a square foot a month in rent, right? So it's one of the highest rent districts in the world, right?
Yeah.
And so you could do that here. It's hard to do that in Sunnyvale, but you can do that here in terms of.
That's very creative. You made my day. Thank you.
Yeah. So think about it. In fact, if you're interested, we'll add you to. We have like a little list of people that are interested in this topic as well. We can add you to that list.
Sure, please do. Yeah. Please do. I'm always. I noticed, by the way, you got a big data book downstairs. Human face of. So I teach big data at USF.
Oh, okay.
And I've written a couple books on it. So I'm a data kind of guy. Okay. So I'm always trying to figure out, are there numbers that can help us? Not replace our decision, but there are numbers that can help us. So if I can help in any way looking at this monetization opportunity, actually, because I spend a lot of time working with organizations on how to monetize data. Now, this is going to be in the video, so no one else look at this. But but if I can help in that space, I think it's like I said, it's transformational. Yeah. And so let's not make it a small time decision. Let's think about the ramifications of what it might do for the entire quality of life in Palo Alto.
Sure.
I like how you're thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right. Well, thank you very much. This was very. Send me the link,
Yep.
and I will make sure I send it on, and we will try to proceed to get this Castilleja